Who am I? Have you ever asked yourself that question? And if you did, what kind of an answer did you get? Well, answering this question is really at the core of mental training. It's like this, our purpose here is to find out who we are and how we integrate and fit into the world around us, into life as a mystery, which life really is a big mystery. Understanding who you are can help give you insights into the kind of career that you would want or the kind of job. It gives you insights into your relationships, how they work, and into the experiences that you get when you go rock climbing. So knowing who you are helps you integrate into the world. The more integrated you are, the more you feel like you belong to the world. The less integration you have, the more isolated and fearful you feel. So how do you answer this question? Well, it begins with understanding that life is about relationships. And what we're going to investigate in this lesson is that you have relationships in two different directions. You have relationships with the outer objective world, where you're interacting with a rock climb, you're interacting with nature or in relationships. And you have a relationship with yourself, your inner subjective world. So at a basic level, the outer world provides the stress, the raw material for your learning journey, and your inner world reveals how you deal with that stress. And if you're processing that stress, then you actually can use that raw material, that stress from the external world, to learn more about yourself. It helps you answer the question, who am I? How do you relate to yourself? Well, mental training provides the tools for understanding your inner world. Since your inner world is your subjective world, it reveals your subjective perception of reality. And it reveals your relationship with stress. Do you honor it or do you reject it? The world is constantly changing, constantly moving, and this causes stress. And if you accept and work with stress, then you're aligned with the reality of how the world is. Honoring stress is foundational to the warrior training that we do. In a previous lesson, mental training tool number 1 for the body, I explained about how we're focusing on the external and internal world, the outer and inner world. And here specifically for the inner world, you're focusing on EB, which stands for expanded body. And you're focusing on expanded body by breathing, relaxing, maintaining proper body posture. How do you relate to the world around you, this outer world? Well, this is an objective world that's full of objects, basically. These objects of this objective world are a rock climb, activities, and relationships, other people. Well, other people think differently than you do, they behave differently than you do, and this difference causes stress. But stress is natural. The world is constantly changing, constantly moving, and you must move in order to grow. The stress provides the means for the experiences that you have so you can process the stress. You use OM, or observant mind, to be attentive to this outer world. And you do this by focusing on feeling the sensations on your skin, hearing the sounds around you, maintaining a soft eyes gaze with your eyes. Your level of awareness is your level of self-knowledge, of self-knowing. As you're engaging in experiences, you expand your awareness, your understanding of who you are. This is your level of experiential knowledge. You know who you are because of these experiences. You're just thinking about them. This creates illusions. By processing stress from the outer world, going through these experiences, you diminish this self-illusory reality that we all tend to have. Consider that you can't do anything alone. You can't breathe without your relationship with air. You can't have a conversation without a relationship with another person. You can't climb without having a relationship with the rock. You are inextricably interconnected with the world around you. As you increase your awareness of this inextricability, then you increase your understanding of who you are. You integrate these two worlds through experiences. It's helpful to select an activity that draws your interest, that draws your attention, something that you're drawn to, that you want to do. You need to want to be in the stress of that experience for its own sake, willingly engage it. So this activity needs to be something that moves you in the direction of stress. And it's important to stay focused so you can process the stress. And you do this by taking small steps. You take a small step into the stress zone. You work with your attention. This converts stress into comfort. This converts intellectual knowledge into experiential knowledge. Your metric for knowing is experience, because you know something when you experience it, not before. Attention is the active form of awareness. Use EBOM to focus attention actively while having these experiences. EBOM keeps attention focused double-arrowed, which helps you integrate your inner and outer worlds. Check out a previous lesson that I had on the power of purpose. Viktor Frankl states, if there is a purpose to life at all, there must be a purpose in suffering and in dying. But no one can tell another what this purpose is. Each must find out for themselves. There is suffering and stress in life. It's a natural part of what's going on. And we can find meaning through suffering and through stress. It's what helps us integrate into and understand the mystery that the world is. As we're expanding our awareness, we start being able to find that meaning better. And what was revealed is that we are inextricably interconnected in relationships with the world around us. And one thing that becomes more and more apparent is that the essence of who you are isn't this individual self, but this inner relationship. And at the foundation of that is simply awareness. If you're just thinking from the perspective of this individual, isolated individual, then that creates more suffering because you feel like you don't belong to the world around you. When you expand your awareness, in this inextricability that is a truer reality, then you start seeing that stress is natural and essential for your learning journey. And you can observe the whole process from this perspective of awareness. EBOM is the mental training tool that you use for navigating the stress in the outer world. It helps you respond to these stressors rather than react to them. It helps you honor stress as a learning opportunity. I can share a personal example. I love rock climbing. It's an activity I've chosen. It resonates with me. It grabs my interest and attention. And it's stressful. But I want to be in the stress of that experience. I willingly engage it and I enjoy it. The stress of the rock climb is the raw material that helps me learn. It reveals fears like fear of falling or fear of exerting effort, fear of failure. Well, these fears come up because I don't know enough of the situation. And as I go through these experiences, I understand more about the situation, about the rock climb, and the fears diminish. As I expand my awareness, I learn more about why I'm afraid. I learn how to face my fear of falling. I learn more about how to stay committed to exerting effort. I learn how to value failure so I don't feel like a failure. These help me understand and integrate with the rock climb so I can create my best performance. I fight to create my best performance. I don't fight against the rock, I fight with the rock. Fighting with the rock allows me to take in the stress the rock climb provides and process it. I want to be in the stress of the rock climb for its own sake. This helps me learn and grow, and it helps me expand my awareness. Maintaining my attention on EBOM is the tool I use to do this. Life is a mystery, and I understand more of the mystery as I go through these experiences and expand my awareness. I integrate into the mystery through self-knowing, through these experiences. And mental training helps me do this integration. It gives me the tools I need for doing that so I can learn more about who I am and really to understand that at a foundational level, who I am is awareness. Life is always changing and moving. Understanding who you are can give you some stability in the midst of all of that change and all of that movement. Knowing who you are fundamentally can help. Here's the drill. I found it helpful to expand on the who am I question. You do this by asking additional questions. You ask yourself, who am I? What am I? When am I? Where am I? How am I? Why am I? Have some fun answering these questions before you read my answers. Go ahead and pause the video and do that. My answers are, who am I? This question points to something fundamental. Who you are is awareness. What am I? This question points to aspects of you. What you are is a body and mind. When am I? This question points to time. When is always now. Where am I? This question points to location. Where you are is always here. How am I? This question points to how you are in the world. How you are is a constant ongoing process. Why am I? This question points to purpose. Life is about growth. Why you're here is to learn so you can grow. This is your purpose. It expands your awareness of your place in the mysterious world. Answering these questions can provide stability in the midst of an ongoing, moving, changing world. You can thrive from this foundation of understanding who you are.